Here's a number that should make every Blue Jays fan sit up straight. 25. That's how many home runs Toronto has hit through 30 games this season. Good for 25th in all of Major League Baseball. Now imagine what happens when one of the most explosive postseason hitters in recent memory walks back into that lineup. That moment is closer than anyone is admitting, and a second reinforcement might arrive right behind him. The next 2 weeks could change the entire trajectory of Toronto's season. Hello Jays Nation. Welcome to Jays Quick News, your go-to spot for the latest Toronto Blue Jays updates. Are you ready to see this lineup transform overnight? Before we go deep on what's about to unfold, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and stick with me. Because what I'm about to break down might shift how you look at this entire season. Let's get into the latest. Manager John Schneider confirmed on Thursday that Addison Barger will begin his rehab assignment on Sunday with Single-A Dunedin, with the 26-year-old needing only 2 or 3 games before being activated. The target window for his return is the homestand running from May 8th through May 13th. Barger has been out since April 5th after suffering injuries to both ankles while sprinting down the first base line in Chicago, and he hasn't suited up for Toronto since. Now to Jose Berrios. The 31-year-old veteran is closing in on his 2026 debut after missing the entire season so far with a stress fracture in his pitching elbow. He just completed his 3rd rehab start on Tuesday with Triple-A Buffalo, allowing 5 earned runs over 4 innings against the Scranton Wilkes-Barre RailRiders, including 2 home runs and a leadoff blast from top Yankees prospect Spencer Jones. The numbers across all 3 rehab outings, a .844 ERA, a .150 whip, and 10 strikeouts in 10-2-3 innings. But here's what really matters. Berrios said publicly that physically, he's been feeling great, and the front office is seriously evaluating whether his next start comes in the big leagues. Now let me give you the unique angle nobody else is talking about. Yes, Barger started 2026 cold, hitting just .053 with 2 RBIs across his first 8 games. But forget that small sample. What you really need to remember is the Game 1 Grand Slam he hit off Anthony Banda in the 2025 World Series. That swing was not a fluke, that was identity. In 2025, Barger trailed only George Springer and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in home runs across the entire roster, finishing with 21 long balls and 74 RBIs. In the postseason, he hit .367 with a 1.025 OPS, 3 home runs, and 9 RBIs. That's October royalty. And right now, Toronto's lineup is dead last in the AL East in power production, which is exactly the gap Barger fills. Berrios brings a different kind of impact. Even if his rehab numbers look ugly, his velocity is climbing back, his command is showing flashes, and his veteran presence stabilizes a rotation that has burned through emergency arms like Patrick Corbin all month. 2 stars returning during the same homestand isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Here's where the history hits hard. Want to know the blueprint for what happens next? Look at Trey Yesavage. The young right-hander returned earlier this month after his own injury rehab, and he came back ready to contribute immediately. The Blue Jays followed a careful progression with Yesavage. 2 starts at Dunedin, 2 at Buffalo, max 71 pitches before activation, and the result spoke for itself. Berrios looks like he'll follow that exact same path, which is encouraging given how successful the Yesavage blueprint already is. Now look at Toronto's record. The team currently sits at 14-17, 4th in the AL East and just 2.5 games back of the wild card. Doesn't sound great on paper, but dig deeper. The Blue Jays have won 7 of their last 10 games. The momentum is building right as the cavalry arrives. Defending American League champions and 2025 World Series runners-up don't just disappear, and history shows that championship-caliber teams almost always look unrecognizable in April compared to August. Sound familiar? It should. So, what should we expect over the next 3 weeks? Picture this scenario. Barger plays 2 or 3 rehab games at Dunedin, gets activated around May 8th, and immediately slots into right field as part of an everyday role. His swing should round into form quickly given how hot he was at the end of 2025 and during the playoffs. Berrios likely makes 1 more bullpen session at Buffalo, potentially 1 more rehab start, then joins the Major League rotation by mid-May. When that happens, manager John Schneider gets a real choice to make between Patrick Corbin and Eric Lauer for the 5th rotation spot, which is the kind of problem every contender wants. Now layer in the news that George Springer is expected back soon. Alejandro Kirk has resumed throwing in Dunedin, and Nathan Lukes is progressing through his own recovery. By the time the calendar flips to mid-May, Toronto could field something resembling its full opening day vision. That alone is worth a 5-game cushion in the standings, and possibly much more. Here's the bottom line, Jays Nation. Toronto isn't just getting a player back this weekend. They're starting a chain reaction that could redefine the next 2 months. Addison Barger and Jose Berrios are two of several reinforcements about to arrive, and this lineup needs every single one of them. So tell me, are you buying this team turning their season around starting May 8th, or do you think they need more help before they're truly back? Drop your prediction in the comments below, smash that like button if you're feeling that championship energy returning, and subscribe to Jay's Quick News with notifications turned on so you never miss a major update. Toronto's comeback starts now. Let's go!